And they like it or no? Yeah, but they're not they're not okay, they're not really disorder. Like, do you have it's small. I mean, this is the 26th. I wanted to get, oh, this is the 28th. 28th is yeah, it's small, it's great. Well, it's
yeah, I do have tried.
right, exactly.
Yes, we get older and tired. We don't need to carry all that weight. Well, that's for you. You guys are
Give me mine. Yeah, I'll actually put it on. Okay. I don't even. You guys are struggling even with something.
48. So there you go.
I mean, not much, but I'll try to. So tomorrow, I don't care. I think there's something I need to. So there's something to know.
Chinese place again?
Yeah.
Right by Woha.
Really?
There's some chili wonton.
The one guy made a nice
I know how to find
guy
it.
cross. The guy sits next to yeah.
The charge is extraordinary. The senator accused of taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, gold bars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, a Mercedes, and other gifts from at least 3 businessmen in the state of New Jersey. The allegations that in exchange for those alleged payoffs, that he tried to influence the District of New Jersey's U.S. Attorney's Office and the State Attorney General's Office to impact criminal charges that were filed against 2 businessmen there. Prosecutors here are alleging that his wife, Nadine Arslanian, was part of the alleged scheme, which also included attempting to help a New Jersey business win a contract with the Egyptian government worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And then in exchange, the senator and his wife also took cash payoffs to help with that business arrangement. This senator is chair of the Foreign Relations Committee and controls billions of dollars in aid to Egypt. And prosecutors are alleging that the senator used his power, used his position to hold up hundreds of millions of dollars in Egyptian aid in exchange for some of these payoffs, to also help ensure that that New Jersey business won that huge overseas contract. The allegations breathtaking. The FBI says during its search of the senator's home, they found thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in cash in the senator's closet, hidden in envelopes, in a jacket. They also recovered the Mercedes. There are images of them contained in the indictment, and the list appears to go on and on. The senator previously has denied all wrongdoing and says that this case will go nowhere. And for the last 48 hours, as we've been reporting this story out, his office, his spokespeople have declined any comment whatsoever. We have learned from a source close to the Menendez camp that he plans to step down as chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee as he deals with these new criminal charges. As you know, he is charged previously in a separate corruption scheme where the case resulted in a hung jury, and then the Justice Department dropped the case. That was back in 2012, and now there are new charges, once again, federal corruption charges, bribery, extortion, charged against Senator Robert Menendez. He's accused of taking cash and gifts and gold bars in exchange for trying to help 2 businessmen with their criminal charges in the state of New Jersey, one at the State Attorney General's Office, one with federal prosecutors in New Jersey. Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney, the FBI, IRS, expected to appear here at a news conference in the Southern District in a short while where they will detail more allegations. We were told they will not be taking any questions, but that their statement and the indictment quite detailed in terms of the alleged payoffs, extraordinary payoffs, given to the senior Democratic senator from the state of New Jersey. Back to you. That is correct. We're told he plans to stay on as senator. He plans to fight the charges. We're hearing from a source close to the Menendez camp, but that he is planning to step down as chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, given the allegations that he attempted to interfere with foreign aid to Egypt. As chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, he has a big say in the billions of dollars of aid that is given to Egypt, both in humanitarian and military assistance to that country. And again, the allegations there are that he used his position as chair of the Foreign Relations Committee to effect aid to Egypt, and in exchange, he was helping a New Jersey business win an exclusive contract in Egypt, and they are saying that that was a corrupt deal. They are also alleging, as part of this investigation, the senator gave highly sensitive information about employees in the U.S. Embassy in Egypt, about their backgrounds, about who they are, to the Egyptian government, and that may have put some employees there in a compromised position. That is contained in the indictment. We hope to hear more from that during this news conference. But again, extraordinary allegations of corruption that the senator allegedly took hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, gold bars, and a car. There were allegations, we were told previously, that he may have even had an apartment paid for him and his wife in Washington, D.C. The investigation is sprawling. Again, 3 businessmen also charged along with the senator's wife. Back to you. Thank you for the earpiece.
I get your sources.
Sorry? I'll give you two.
I'll take two.
One for each of you. And can I keep it till the end in case they come back? Thanks so much.
He was the first day. Connor and
Did that very well. Where did it? Yeah. Yeah, they got it. Night piece here. The night shift here.
You didn't take the bite.
People, actually, that was a press conference.
That's it. They took Jonathan live.
I know. We got a super. Oh, somebody's talking pretty live.
No, we got a two. Tell them to send a request for a check. You know, like, what's going on? Why is it delayed? I'm like,
Call.
everybody's got different newscasts.
Call 6647
Now we have a 10, you have an 11.
Call Nicole.
Yeah, exactly.
Call him the din.
She'll be like, I'm not quick.
The din. So the din can talk. So nice guy. I remember the system is
Zach, he's all right. He's still doing his thing. He's good. He's always
Would it be helpful to see the chart ahead of time? Want to flip? Not a chart.
Jimmy.
We're just going to keep it where it is, sorry.
like this way.
Isn't that an extra copy? Oh.
Martha. Two guys. One in a row. Suze. Thank you.
Sometimes they're also on the way.
Tough crowd.
I don't know. I heard. Still a month away.
Why are you handing up Portuguese flags?
Now you don't.
This is breaking news from Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning, I'm Mike Marza in the Eyewitness Newsroom. We're coming on the air as we are following two important news conferences happening this hour. One in Lower Manhattan detailing the new indictment against U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, but now happening on Long Island, an update on the investigation into that deadly bus crash that was carrying students from Farmingdale High School. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman now speaking. Let's listen.
Superintendent DeFendini for the masterful way that they handled this crisis. So I want to congratulate all the Dalers and the Daler family for everything they have done to help with this situation, a very tragic situation that ended with the death of two great people and many, many young people injured. With me today is Town of Oyster Bay Supervisor Joe Saladino, legislators Rose Walker and James Kennedy, Mayor of the Village of Farmingdale, Ralph Ekstrand, my Commissioner of Health, Dr. Irina Gelman, our Police Commissioner, Patrick Ryder, our Chief Fire Marshal, Mike Utaro, our Sheriff, Anthony LaRocca, the Nassau University Medical Center Executive Vice President, Meg Ryan, my Deputy County Executive for Public Safety, Tatum Fox. Everybody that is behind me contributed to this effort yesterday. So just to recap, yesterday we received information that there had been a horrific bus crash in Orange County, at which point at that time I called Commissioner Ryder to get information and intel on what was going on. He spoke to his counterparts at the State Police and the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I also spoke with Sheriff LaRocca, who was in communication with the Orange County Sheriff. Dr. Irina Gelman, our health commissioner, who has a relationship with Orange County. She was the former health commissioner of that county, so she had a lot of relationships there and helped us out quite a bit. And Meg Ryan at NUMIC, Nassau University Medical Center, she was in contact with all the area hospitals to make sure that all our kids and all of the faculty and staff were taken care of. In addition, I sent Deputy County Executive for Public Safety Tatum Fox with a team to Westchester Medical Center, where we knew the most serious cases were going to be treated. I also dispatched my Chief Deputy County Executive.
We will continue to monitor Mr. Blakeman giving an update on the investigation into the deadly bus crash. Let's go to Lower Manhattan now, where we expect to hear from Southern District Attorney Damian Williams about this new indictment against U.S. Senator Bob Menendez.
And I'm the United States Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator Robert Menendez, his wife Nadine Menendez, and 3 New Jersey businessmen, Weil Hanna, Jose Uribe, and Fred Davies, for bribery offenses. The investigation that led to these charges has been run out of the Southern District of New York. The indictment alleges that between 2018 and 2022, Senator Menendez, the senior U.S. Senator from New Jersey and the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and his wife Nadine Menendez, engaged in a corrupt relationship with Hanna, Uribe, and Davies. The indictment alleges that through that relationship, the senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. The indictment alleges that Hanna, Uribe, and Davies provided bribes in the form of cash, gold, home mortgage payments, a low-show or a no-show job for Nadine Menendez, a Mercedes-Benz, and other things of value to the senator and his wife. Now, constituent service is part of any legislator's job. Senator Menendez is no different. And as we explain in the indictment, there are things that Senator Menendez says he can do for his constituents and things that he says he cannot do for his constituents. He put it all on his Senate website. So for instance, it says he cannot compel an agency to act in someone's favor. It says he cannot influence matters involving a private business. It says he cannot get involved in criminal matters or cases, period. But we allege that behind the scenes, Senator Menendez was doing those things for certain people, the people who were bribing him and his wife. Now let me say a little bit more about the conduct that's alleged in the indictment. The indictment alleges that Senator Menendez took several actions as part of this corrupt relationship. First, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence, including his leadership role on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to benefit the government of Egypt in various ways. Among other actions, Senator Menendez allegedly provided sensitive, non-public U.S. government information to Egyptian officials and otherwise took steps to secretly aid the government of Egypt. We also allege that Senator Menendez improperly pressured a senior official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture to protect a lucrative monopoly that the government of Egypt had awarded to Hanna, a lucrative monopoly that Hanna then used to fund certain bribe payments. Second, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to an associate and a relative of Uribe. Third, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a federal prosecution of Davies in the District of New Jersey in 2 ways. First, by seeking to install a United States attorney who he thought could be influenced with respect to Davies, and second, by trying to influence that office to act favorably in Davies' case. And as we allege in the indictment, the senator agreed to do these things and use his power in this way because Hanna was paying bribes, because Uribe was paying bribes, and because Davies was paying bribes. Fortunately, the public officials the senator sought to influence did not bend to the pressure. That's a good thing. Now, as part of this investigation, special agents with the FBI executed search warrants on the residence and safe deposit box of Senator Menendez and Nadine Menendez in New Jersey. When they got there, they discovered approximately $500,000 of cash stuffed into envelopes and closets. Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. And some of the envelopes of cash contained Davies' fingerprints or Davies' DNA. That's not all. Agents also discovered a lot of gold that was provided by Davies and Hanna. And the FBI, of course, found the Mercedes-Benz that Uribe had provided them. Now, the items that the FBI uncovered are discussed in the indictment, which I encourage all of you to read carefully. Let's take a look at just some of the items. So as you can see here, this is the Mercedes-Benz that we allege that Uribe provided as part of the scheme. What you see here are 3 kilograms of gold. These 3 kilograms together are worth approximately $150,000. And of course, here you can see just a fraction of the cash that was uncovered as part of the scheme. Now, I want to make a couple of things very clear. First, my office remains firmly committed to rooting out public corruption without fear or favor and without any regard to partisan politics. That's in our DNA. Always has been, always will be. And second, this investigation is very much ongoing. We are not done. And I want to encourage anyone with information to come forward and to come forward quickly. And they can do that by reaching out to the FBI's tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, a case of this magnitude requires tremendous partnership. And I want to thank our partners at the FBI who have been with us since day one and have been absolutely incredible every step along the way. I also want to thank our partners at the IRS for their assistance in this investigation. I want to thank our colleagues from around the Department of Justice, who are far too many to name here and to thank specifically, but they have also been invaluable. And of course, I want to thank the career prosecutors from my office who are handling this investigation. They have done tremendous work. Eli Mark, Laura Pomerantz, Dan Richenthal, Paul Monteleone, and their supervisors, Rebecca Donaleski and Maureen Comey, the chiefs of our office's public corruption unit. I now want to invite up to the podium FBI Assistant Director in Charge, James Smith. Jim.
Good morning. So I'm not going to go any further into the case as the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams explained, but what I want to talk about more or less is, hey, the FBI's public corruption, the FBI investigating public corruption is one of our top priorities, and we will continue to investigate public corruption cases. I want to thank the agents, the team over here from the FBI, the IRS, for their hard work into this investigation. They've spent many hours and days and weeks and months working this investigation. I would also like to thank all the prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. I'd like to thank Damian Williams for his support in this particular case. I would like to thank the IRS for all their investigators who worked tirelessly along with the team here to investigate this case. Then I would also finally like to thank the DOJ's Public Integrity Section. So thank you very much for all your support in this.
All right, thank you, everyone.
So there you have it, U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, his wife, and 3 New Jersey businessmen now facing charges in a bribery scheme alleged to have benefited from hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes. Now, Senator Menendez becomes the first sitting senator in U.S. history to be indicted on 2 unrelated criminal allegations. Per the Senate Historical Office, as we've been digging into this, it was in 2015 that a case ended in a mistrial after a jury failed to reach a verdict on all counts, and a judge acquitted him on some charges after he was accused of corruption in 2015. Already reaction pouring in this morning. The New Jersey Republican State Committee calling on Senator Menendez to resign completely, saying, quote, "We call on Senator Robert Menendez to resign." And we've been looking into the rules, especially when it pertains to the Democratic caucus. And it appears from the way we read it, now that Mr. Menendez, Senator Menendez, has been indicted, he has to step down as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee because of the rules in the Senate Democratic caucus. He is not expected to step down from the Senate. In fact, people close to him saying that he will fight just like he did back in 2015. More on that at the top of the hour. But we've also been following the news conference playing out that we brought you at the beginning of this special report. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman updating that horrible bus crash that happened in Orange County yesterday, carrying the Farmingdale band to a band camp. In Pennsylvania, 2 women died, including the band's director, and a longtime elder of the band program died in the crash. We also understand from this update from the news conference, 18 people still in the hospital, 16 students and 2 adults. We're following all these stories. We expect an update as we continue throughout the day, but a complete recap of what we learned so far on Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Mike Marza. We now return you to The View.
A couple of the junior firefighters were on the trip. He'll mention that. And again, Farmingdale High School, Superintendent DiFendini, the principal, the assistant principal, the school nurse, the teachers. I could not be more proud. When I arrived at Troop F, the first thing the sheriffs and the state police said to me was, what a great job they did. Commissioner Ryder was on site at Farmingdale High School, and he said the same thing to me. It was seamless, the work that they did. They are to be commended, and we're certainly going to review everything that they did and make sure that we share that with every school district and that we look at it. We're always looking to improve. They did an outstanding job. It was seamless, and we're very appreciative. I want to thank all of the teachers and social workers up in Orange County who volunteered to help. When I went to Orange County Community College, I was met by nurses. I was met by local high school teachers. After they left their own high schools, they came to volunteer at the Reunification Center. The social workers, the crisis counselors that showed up. The state police were magnificent. We were in constant contact with them. They did a tremendous job. And again, the team behind me working here and up in Port Jervis, at Middletown, and also at the Westchester Medical Center. We dispatched everybody immediately to those locations. They did a great job. We were there in a supporting role. We wanted to make sure that if they needed additional resources or if the parents or the students need anything, that they would be available. And again, I could not be more proud of the way that the Nassau County team responded, and our heartfelt thanks to everybody up in Orange County. They saved our kids' lives. Believe me when I tell you, I was up there. If they had not acted as swiftly and decisively with such professionalism, we certainly would have lost more. So God bless them, and God bless the team behind me. It's a tragic event, horrific. We're going to keep all of the kids in our prayers that are still being treated, but it could have been so much worse without the immediate response up in Orange County. So we're very, very grateful to them. With that, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Supervisor Joseph Saladino. So, Joe.
Thank you, County Executive Bruce Blakeman, for your leadership and your very, very thorough assistance in this time of need. Thank you for your county team. It really made a difference and continues to make a difference. Very special thank you to all of my county colleagues in government, Legislator Rose Walker, Legislator James Kennedy, and of course, representing the Farmingdale community and families, our Farmingdale Village Mayor, Ralph Ekstrand. Our hearts go out to everyone in Farmingdale. We're one family at this difficult time. Our hearts are with the tight-knit Farmingdale community. We're praying for the victims and their families and everyone involved in this horrific accident. The town of Oyster Bay has offered every available resource to the school and to all impacted. We're asking that Long Islanders keep the students, their family, and the fellow Dalers in their prayers this weekend. Don't underestimate the power of prayer. It's real. The town of Oyster Bay and our residents offer our condolences to the lives lost, Ms. Pelletieri, Ms. Ferrari, town of Oyster Bay residents, and people who contributed to the success of our children. We come together to pray for these wonderful students and all of Farmingdale. May God bless them.
Thank you, Joe. I left one piece of information out. A lot of press inquiries have come in about the investigation. Governor Hochul spoke yesterday about a focus on the right front tire. Right now, the state police, in coordination with the Orange County Sheriff's Department and the NTSB, are going to conduct a full and thorough investigation. So we won't have anything definitive until that's done. But I've worked with the NTSB before. They have a GO team that is probably there already, and they will conduct a very thorough investigation, and they will let us know exactly what happened when they complete that investigation. With respect to that, we spoke with our own Highway Patrol Department, and they indicated that when a steering tire, which would be the right front or the right left tire, blows, when you're traveling at a high rate of speed with a vehicle that is the mass of a bus and the weight of a bus, it can be difficult to steer, but we are going to wait for the full investigation to be completed. At this time, I'd like to ask Legislator Rose Walker to come up. She's somebody that's very active with that school district. So, Rose, would you join us, please?
Thank you, County Executive, and I want to thank everyone here that was involved yesterday, certainly our police department, certainly our county executive and his staff, certainly Farmingdale, and certainly everyone in Orange County that made this tragic event possible to handle, and were there for everyone. And thank God for them, because otherwise more lives would have been lost. For me, it's very personal too. I represent Farmingdale. I know many of these children, the staff. I always tell them when we're at anything together that although they don't live in my house, they're all my kids. And so it really is very hard for me on a personal level. Gina Pelletieri was a Hicksville girl. I've known her since she was in elementary school. She was just an amazing young girl, and working her way up in school, she had a love for music. She was the drum major when she got to the high school, which was a dream, and a dream to go further with her career. And she did. She became that band director over in Farmingdale High School. And again, when we were together, I'd say, I know you're a Daler now, but you always have Comet blood in your heart also. So, and her brother happened to marry into a family that I'm very, very close to, that I consider family. One of those junior firefighters, her mom, her aunt is a member of our EMT. She's the head of the EMTs in Hicksville. And she was hurt pretty badly. Others that I know who had broken bones. And so it's really very personal to me. But Farmingdale community is amazingly strong. They're a very tight-knit community. They will move on, and they will work hard, and they will hold each other together throughout this terrible tragedy. And they know that they have all of us here. I did not speak to Paul Defendini, the superintendent, personally. I spoke to his staff. Paul played lacrosse with my son over at Hofstra. So, like I said, we're very combined. We're a family in our own, and just want to remember that everybody reach out through their prayers. And as the supervisor said, you know, prayers mean a lot, and if that's even all we can do for them now, keep them all in your prayers. And all those who were on the other buses, because they saw their friends, their classmates, their band members, they saw this happen. So for them, the trauma of that is there too. So God bless you all, and thank to everyone who helped out yesterday and will continue to help out.
Rose, so sorry for your loss. She's a rock in county government and obviously very, very close to that community. Also, we have with us a representative of village government, Mayor Ralph Ekstrom, who also knew many of the people involved personally. Ralph?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone upstate in Orange County, and praise be to God that when that bus rolled over 5 times, it didn't catch on fire. You know, maybe God was looking over everybody just a little bit to prevent that from happening. I'd like to thank County Executive for all his support, and of course, to my good friend, Commissioner Ryder, who was with me last night at the Farmingdale High School. Paul Defendini and his staff were flawless. We came down as volunteers, myself and New York State Senator Stephen Rhodes, who represents Farmingdale. We helped coordinate as runners the coordination of making the parent, getting the identification, and then having the parent meet the child, and through all the protocols to make sure all the identification was proper so they could then take their luggage and leave. I was amazed. There was at least 20 Nassau County police officers there helping out the students, helping out the parents. Commissioner Ryder was a regular Joe. I looked over to him and he had 3 bags of luggage as he's walking. I says, can you need some help? He says, no, Mayor, I got it. So again, thank you to everybody who helped. Farmingdale has a junior fire brigade. In fact, I had the entire junior fire brigade at Village Hall last month, celebrating 50 years of the juniors programs. For you who don't know, recruiting firefighters and rescue squads at no pay is a hardship. That's why we have juniors. Well, juniors, 5 of the juniors were on the trip. 2 of them were in the bus. One of them has been discharged from Westchester Medical Center. The other one, please keep her in your prayers. She was medevaced this morning to a specialty hospital here on Long Island. She has very severe injuries. She is also a freshman at Farmingdale High School. And I'd like everybody to keep her in your prayers, as we do everyone involved here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. I will entertain questions, as well as the professionals that I have here, that I've brought here, in case there's any technical questions. Please bear in mind that we will not release any information that might violate the HIPAA regulations. We can tell you generalities, but we're not going to tell you about any specific individual or name any individual. So with that, are there any questions?
So you mentioned that one of those junior firefighters had very severe injuries. I'm wondering if you could give us an update on how many students and educators are hospitalized and what the extent of their injuries are.
Yeah, so again, let me go back. Westchester County Medical Center, outstanding facility, level 1 trauma center. They have 10 individuals that are still admitted. They were releasing people through the night, as well as the other hospitals, which is always a good thing to hear that the patient is discharged. Garnett Health System has 7 individuals, 1 adult, 6 pediatric. St. Luke's still has 1 adult. All the other area hospitals have either discharged or transferred. The more serious cases were sent to Westchester Medical Center. Again, they are getting outstanding care. Some of them are very seriously injured, and it's going to be somewhat of a long road back for them. But the fact that they're stable at this time, which it was reported last night and this morning that everybody at Westchester Medical was stable, is a very, very good sign.
You had said, you went to these hospitals. Can you paint a picture of what's going on inside? Is it chaotic? Are there a lot of people? What was the families like? Paint us a picture of what we're looking at when you stepped in yesterday.
Yeah, so I arrived at the hospitals after the initial, let's say, splurge of activity. So basically, every hospital I went to, they were prepared, they were ready, they had a team there. They had a coordinated effort, and maybe Dr. Gelman can tell you a little more, because she's the former Orange County Health Commissioner. We're fortunate to have her here in Nassau County. But they have a coordinated effort. Apparently, they were able to assess immediately what patients needed to go to Westchester, and then they portioned out based on capacity, what each hospital could accept as far as patients. And virtually all of the people on the bus were brought to a hospital. And luckily, many of them were discharged. But again, they made those assessments. They decided, based on need and medical condition, which healthcare facility that they were going to go to. And basically, we're hopeful that there'll be more discharges in the next coming days. I do not have any information about that. All I know about Mrs. Ferrari is that she's a longtime chaperone, that basically she's a beloved person. She volunteers her time, and she loved these trips, especially the band trip, because it's a trip not only with fun, but of great music, and she will be sorely missed in the community. I can assure you of that. Commissioner Ryder might have some information on that.
Anything to do with the investigation, since it's ongoing, the state police will release that when they have it complete.
Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you all so much. Please keep the injured in your prayers, and also the families of those who lost Ms. Ferrari and Ms. Pelletier. Thank you so much.